The story opens at a mysterious hospital by the ocean. A young woman named Madison stares into the camera, her eyes filled with fear. She's about to undergo a dangerous surgery. As the camera pulls back, the truth is revealed. Attached to her back is a twisted, childlike figure. It's separate, yet somehow still part of her. This isn't just any deformity. The creature has an unusually advanced brain. It can control objects without touching them, and when it gets angry, it becomes deadly. That's why the doctors decide to operate. They restrain Madison and remove the entity. But there's a problem: their brains are connected. Completely separating them would kill her. So instead, the doctors make a chilling choice. They cut away most of the entity and stitch a piece of its brain inside Madison's skull. The story jumps ahead 20 years. Madison is now grown beautiful and pregnant. Her life seems normal on the surface, but she has no idea what's about to happen or how terrifying it will be. When she gets home, she finds her husband watching a boxing match. Without saying a word, she grabs the remote and turns off the TV. That small moment sparks something ugly. He snaps. In a burst of anger, he slams Madison's head against the wall, completely unaware that this mistake will cost him his life. Dazed and terrified, Madison feels a sharp pain in her head. Panicking, she rushes into a room to hide. When she checks her injury, blood is slowly running down the back of her head. Something feels very wrong, but she doesn't yet realize what's coming next. Later that night, her husband is asleep on the couch when a strange noise suddenly wakes him up. He follows the sound into the kitchen and freezes. The blender is running on its own. No one is there. Confused, he steps closer to turn it off, but just as he reaches out, the refrigerator door creaks open by itself. Now he's fully shaken. Something isn't right, and whatever it is, it's only just getting started. At that moment, he starts to think Madison might be messing with him, trying to scare him. Then suddenly, loud noises erupt from the living room. He rushes in and stops cold. A woman dressed in black is sitting on the couch, flipping through TV channels nonstop. The second he turns the lights on, she vanishes. For a split second, he convinces himself it was just his imagination, but the cushion on the couch is still sinking like someone is sitting there. Before he can process it, a dark figure appears right behind him. His scream echoes through the house. Upstairs, Madison jolts awake. She notices blood on her pillow and quickly touches the back of her head. It's still bleeding. Panicked, she runs downstairs, and then she sees it. Her husband is lying there dead, his neck twisted at an unnatural angle. Sitting nearby is the same dark figure, hair messy, face hidden in shadows. Madison freezes in terror. Then she bolts upstairs, trying to escape. She's just about to shut the door when the figure slams into her, throwing her across the room. She hits the floor hard and everything goes black. Not long after, the police arrive following a neighbor's complaint. The condition of the body shocks them. What makes it worse, there are no signs of forced entry. No broken doors, no windows. It doesn't make sense. How did the killer get in? The lead detective visits the hospital to question Madison, hoping to find answers. But after losing her baby, she's completely shattered, barely able to speak, let alone explain anything. About 2 weeks later, Madison returns home. That's when it starts again. Outside, the streetlight begins flickering on its own. As she watches, she spots a figure in dark clothing slowly walking toward her from a distance. Fear hits her all over again. She rushes inside, locking every door and window. Trying to calm herself, she heads to do some laundry when suddenly a strange woman's face appears in the glass. Before Madison can react, the dark figure lunges forward, grabs the woman by her hair, and slams her violently to the ground. And then something impossible happens. The entire room around Madison shifts. In the next moment, she's no longer in her house, she's inside that woman's home. Confused and terrified, she watches as the man in black picks up a trophy and brutally attacks the woman, striking her over and over again like he's lost all control. Seconds later, Madison is back in her own house. Everything looks normal, quiet, still. She convinces herself it must have been a nightmare, but it wasn't. Soon after, the police connect the dots. Madison's husband, Derek, and the murdered woman were both killed the exact same way. That can't be a coincidence. It means one thing: the same killer is behind both murders. Then they identify the second victim, Dr. Florence Weaver, the same doctor who operated on Madison 20 years ago. Inside Dr. Florence's house, police find files on all her former patients. Now the theory changes: the killer could be one of them. The detective takes every file back to the station and starts digging deep into each case. That night, things get even worse for Madison. As she lies in bed, she suddenly notices something horrifying. An unknown, heavy-set man is lying right beside her. Her body locks up. She can't move, can't scream. Then, from behind her, that same dark figure slowly emerges and climbs onto the man. In its hand, a large knife. What follows is brutal. The figure stabs him again and again, completely out of control. The moment it disappears, Madison jolts awake, screaming. Terrified by everything happening around her, she rushes to the police station with her sister and tells the detective everything. But no one believes her. They laugh it off, thinking she's lost her mind. That's when her sister snaps, angry and desperate. She challenges them. If none of this turns out to be real, then go ahead and lock us up in a psych ward. That finally gets the detective's attention. Within minutes, Madison manages to track down the heavy-set man online. He lives in a building nearby. The detective heads there with his team. When they arrive, it's exactly as she described. The man is dead inside his apartment. Now the detective knows Madison isn't guessing. She's somehow seeing these murders happen. Based on her statement, the police create a sketch of the killer, but the drawing looks less like a human and more like something out of a nightmare. Madison's sister Sydney starts doubting her again, thinking she's making it all up. Madison says nothing. She just walks away. Back at the station, the detective keeps digging through Dr. Dr. Florence's files. That's when he finds something disturbing, a case about a 7-year-old girl named Emily. According to the file, Emily used to see strange things, dark figures, almost like demons. To treat her, Dr. Florence and 2 other doctors designed a special procedure. Then it hits him. Emily is Madison. She changed her name. The detective quickly pulls up old photos of the 3 doctors involved. The realization is instant: 2 of them are already dead, which means the last surviving doctor is next. At the same time, Madison is getting ready at home when she suddenly sees a glimpse of that final doctor in the mirror. And in the next second, she's no longer in her house. She's inside the doctor's home. Not long after the detective arrives there too, the detective breaks the door open and finds the doctor dead in the bathtub. Madison is there trying to help, calling out to him, but he can't see her, can't hear her. It's like she isn't even there. Suddenly, that same dark figure drops from the ceiling and attacks the detective, slamming him to the ground before taking off. The detective recovers quickly and chases it into an abandoned building. Inside, the creature strikes again, jumping down for another deadly attack. But this time, the detective fights back. Trained and ready, he pulls his gun and manages to gain control of the situation. Realizing it's losing, the creature backs off and escapes, climbing up and disappearing into the darkness. Now the detective is certain Madison is somehow connected to all 3 murders. He goes straight to her house, determined to uncover the truth. But Madison can't remember anything from before she was 8 years old. With no other option, the detective brings in a psychologist. Using hypnosis, they try to unlock her buried memories. And it works. Madison finally remembers everything. Before the surgery, the twisted child attached to her had a name: Gabriel. Gabriel could control her mind. He used to show her terrifying visions, things that felt real but weren't. After the operation, when doctors forced him inside her skull, his control over her weakened. But he didn't disappear. Instead, he found another way. Now Gabriel is moving through other bodies, hunting down the very doctors who trapped him. Hearing all this, the detective isn't convinced. It sounds too strange, like Madison is hiding something. Before he can press further, something shocking happens. A woman suddenly crashes down from the ceiling. Everyone freezes. Madison breaks down instantly while the rest stand there, stunned. Up until now, they believed she was innocent, but that's starting to change. The truth is disturbing. A woman had been held captive in Madison's attic, and right there, police recover the same clothes and weapon used in the murders. Now all suspicion points straight at Madison. She's taken into custody, but even then, she keeps repeating the same thing: she didn't do it. Gabriel did. Then the detective gets a call from an unknown number. As he listens, a chilling realization hits him. The voice claims to be Gabriel. It says Madison was framed, that the kidnapped woman was part of the setup. But instead of believing it, the detective grows more suspicious. To him, it sounds like Madison is playing a game, trying to create a story to prove her innocence. So he makes his move. Madison is officially arrested and locked up. Still, her sister refuses to believe she's guilty. Determined to find the truth, she heads to the hospital where Madison had her surgery years ago. But when she gets there, the place is abandoned, completely decayed. No signs of life anywhere. Even so, she goes inside. After searching through the ruins, she finally finds it: Madison's old surgical file. And without wasting a second, she takes it home. When Sydney watches the old videotape, the truth finally comes out. The child attached to Madison's head, Gabriel, was never just a hallucination. He was real, and from the very beginning, he was powerful. He didn't just show Madison terrifying visions, he could take full control of her body, move her, use her, even kill through her. That's why the doctors made that desperate choice to trap him inside her skull. It weakened him, but it didn't destroy him. And the moment Derek slammed her head against the wall, everything changed. The impact woke Gabriel up. He broke free. And from that point on, it was him controlling Madison, carrying out every murder. Back in the present, her sister is horrified after learning the truth. Meanwhile, in jail, things take a darker turn. A group of inmates sees Madison as an easy target. Alone and defenseless, she has no way to fight back. They start harassing her, then beating her mercilessly. But the moment one of them grabs her by the hair, the lights begin to flicker. Something shifts. Suddenly, blood covers the attacker's hands. Madison's body starts shaking violently, like something inside her is waking up. And then it shows itself. A twisted, horrifying face begins pushing out from the back of her head. In seconds, Gabriel takes control. The same inmates who thought she was weak are now trapped with something far worse. One by one, he slaughters them brutally, without hesitation. Within moments, the entire cell block is soaked in blood. Just as he's about to finish the last one, guards hear the chaos and open fire. But Gabriel is ready. He grabs one of the inmates, using him as a shield, and charges forward, cutting through the gunfire and taking down the guards with terrifying precision. At the same time, Sydney rushes to the detective and tells him everything about Gabriel. But before he can react, screams erupt from inside the station. When he runs in, the scene stops him cold. Bodies are everywhere, prisoners and guards, all dead, and Madison is gone. No one realizes she's already broken into the evidence room, grabbed weapons, and made her way into the main hall. What follows is pure chaos. Under Gabriel's control, Madison moves like something inhuman, attacking non-stop, even running in unnatural, twisted ways. One by one, officers fall. No one can hold him off for more than a few seconds. Then the detective steps in. He shouts Madison's name, trying to reach her, trying to bring her back. But the truth is, Madison is still trapped inside her own mind. She has no idea what Gabriel is doing. When she sees the detective with a weapon, she panics. To her, he looks like the real threat, and in that moment, she gives up control. Gabriel takes over completely. He lunges at the detective, knocking the gun out of his hands. After that, Gabriel escapes from the jail. The detective quickly realizes realizes what's next. Gabriel's final target is the woman who was found in Madison's attic, and now he's heading to the hospital to finish what he started. At the same time, Sydney rushes to the hospital hoping to move the woman somewhere safe, but the police outside have strict orders no one gets in. She's stopped at the entrance. Then suddenly the corridor lights begin to flicker. One of the guards clutches his chest and drops to his knees. Confused, Sydney steps forward to help, but in the next second, something violently tears through his chest. He collapses, dead. Now she knows. Gabriel is here. Terrified, she runs inside a room and tries to shut the door, but it's too late. Gabriel kicks it open like it's nothing. As he steps in, the entire room seems to react. Every electronic device sparks and shatters under his power. She freezes, shaking. Gabriel pulls out a knife and starts moving toward her. Inside, Madison is screaming desperately, trying to stop him, fighting for control. Right then, the detective arrives. Without hesitation, he fires 2 shots, hitting Gabriel. For a moment, it looks like it might be over, but just as the detective is about to take him down for good, Sydney steps in and stops him, a decision she's about to regret. In the next instant, Gabriel strikes, driving the knife straight into the detective's chest. He drops to the floor. Now Sydney is completely alone. She grabs a gun, desperate to defend herself, but she can't pull the trigger. Gabriel is inside Madison. Killing him would mean killing her. So instead, she keeps calling out Madison's name, begging her to fight back. Inside, Madison is trying, but Gabriel's grip is too strong. Then suddenly he lifts a hospital bed and hurls it at her sister, pinning her down. Madison can see everything, but she has no control. Even through the pain, her sister makes one last attempt. "He killed your babies. He's the reason you lost them." Those words hit hard. Something shifts. Madison sees everything clearly and a surge of anger rises inside her. She fights back with everything she has and trying to take control again. But before she can, Gabriel fires. Her sister collapses. Then he turns and kills the woman lying on the bed. And that's when it happens. Madison's voice begins to echo inside him. The world around him starts to distort. Gabriel realizes something is wrong. Madison is waking up. She's taking control back. Suddenly everything flips. He looks around confused, and then he sees it. Sydney's still alive. Gabriel freezes, unable to understand what's happening. In that moment, Madison finally understands the truth. All this time, the same power Gabriel used to control her was inside her too. And now, she's ready to use it. Seizing the moment, Madison fights back harder than ever before. This time, she takes full control. Gabriel tries to resist, but it's too late. She overpowers him, and then she traps him forever. As it happens, the back of her head slowly begins to seal itself, closing off completely. Gabriel's face fades away, disappearing for good. The chaos dies down. Everything starts to feel normal again. For the first time in years, Madison is finally free. And just like that, the story comes to an end.